Hello, freedom fighters. Josh the Switzer, the Angry Albertan, once again coming to you live from the Rumpus Room. Be sure to like the Angry Albertan on Facebook. Our rights are in jeopardy. Bill 10 and the public health order have attempted to circumvent the rights and freedoms guaranteed to Canadians by the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Bill 10 allows police to enter residences and businesses without warrants. Bill 10 threatens business owners, pastors, and individuals with fines that can reach $500,000. Bill 10 allows provincial cabinet ministers to declare new laws and regulations without any oversight or consultation or vote. Any minister can create any law by decree. This is textbook tyranny. As of today, we the people are the only check on these tyrannical powers, as the legislative branch and the judicial branch are all apparently declared non-essential and therefore closed. This is why I'm bringing you this podcast today. We are going to be discussing how you can get off the couch, off the keyboard, and join in the fight for freedom. Believe it or not, some of these methods discussed can actually be done from your couch or your keyboard. The first step in the activism process is to be educated. In order to convince others, you must first have your facts straight. Go read Bill 10. Read the public health order. Watch videos from doctors and experts from both sides. To fight this fight properly, we must understand our opposition. By being educated, you will be able to dispel the panic-inducing bullshit that is thrown at us every day by government. This really isn't that hard to do, because the information provided by government is so patently false. All that is needed is a very small ray of light to penetrate the thin veneer of lies and deception. Whatever region of the province you live in, keep yourself up to date on the latest COVID-19 statistics in your area. For example, the Edmonton region has 1 COVID case in the ICU, 5 in hospital, and 52 active cases, with a total of 13 deaths. These numbers will help you to sound reasonable and fact-based when forming your arguments. You should learn about the testing methods and their vulnerabilities. So far, all COVID testing is quite prone to false positives and false negatives. You could be exposed to a virus years ago that could cause a positive result today, or you may have COVID and not test positive at all. Understand how they are manipulating the public's fear by using meaningless numbers. As someone once said, there are lies, damned lies, and statistics. The number of positive tests announced each day is a meaningless figure. It is completely dependent on how many tests were run on that particular day. Sometimes the various offices may sit on a stack of several days' worth of results before reporting them to the government. Either way, the daily number of new cases is irrelevant. This number does serve to harm the government's case, as we all thought that we would see this number doubling every day, which would signify exponential spread of the virus. Unfortunately for the government, this exponential spread has never happened during the entire course of this pandemic in our province. The only numbers that mean anything are the total number of deaths, the number in hospitals, and the number in ICUs. But even the total number of deaths is a relatively useless statistic unless broken down by age and comorbidities. Who died with COVID-19 and who died because of COVID-19? In Italy, for example, it has been reported that 99% of those killed had other major health problems that led to their death. COVID was just the nudge they needed to meet their maker firsthand. The average age of those killed in Alberta is currently over 80 years old. Be prepared to explain things to folks who have been ignoring this whole thing and enjoying the lockdown. There are thousands of these people. Explain to them that just because it hasn't had a negative effect on their lives does not mean it isn't destroying the lives of tens of thousands of Albertans and their businesses. Ask them how many people facing financial distress will turn to drugs, alcohol, and suicide. Ask them if they are going to miss their favorite restaurants, salons, and entertainment venues. Remind them that 50% of Alberta businesses surveyed didn't think they were going to survive this pandemic. If they have been laid off, ask them what will happen when the EI stops and everyone goes looking for a job at the same time. You also need to know your rights and how they've been violated by this government. Jason Kenney keeps gaslighting the people of Alberta with his talk of surgical cuts to the economy. He says he only closed 15% of businesses. Well, Jason Kenney, we have the right to work to support our families. Jason Kenney has also lied about abolishing our right to free and peaceful assembly. The evidence of this right being abolished is the ticketing and arrest of Cody Holler. He was literally carried away by 4 sheriffs. 3 other protesters received tickets at protests at the legislature. Your right to travel has been impeded. Your right to free association has been impeded. Your right to religious freedom has been abolished. Kenney is still claiming that churches can open now, as long as nobody shows up. No singing, restricted attendance. I have not heard of a single church that has reopened so far. Could it be because of the threat of $100,000 fines for those who are not in compliance? These points are the foundation for an informed argument, and I'm sure there are thousands of more points that could be made. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to learn these facts and more, and be prepared to share them. This is the beginning of activism. Once you can formulate an argument and defend it, you are ready for the battlefield. You can start today from the comfort of your own home. We know you are a member of all the various groups on Facebook trying to fight this thing. Share all the information you find in those groups on your personal Facebook wall. Yes, it could cost you a couple of acquaintances. I've even lost family members. But people need to wake up, and soon. If you can make videos, do that. If you are on Twitter, share everything there. Go strike up a conversation with your neighbors. Comfort the elderly who have been locked up in solitary confinement for months. Even though this virus hits the elderly the hardest, the vast majority of them will survive. Phase 1 of lockdown activism is being active in your social circle. This is the best place to practice your rhetoric and work on your delivery. This will become important for Phase 2, activism on the streets. I will release that in the next day or two. Please like the Angry Albertan page on Facebook. I need your help to spread the message. We are starting to see rallies forming province-wide. Please attend. Don't worry about the fines. There are a couple of organizations who have promised to help you fight them. And they are such bad publicity for the government that the government hasn't issued any fines to protesters in weeks. Jason Kenney is terrified of the optics of arresting protesters. If you'd like to see me personally, I will be attending the rally every Saturday at the Alberta Legislature. The march starts at 1 p.m. and the rally starts at 2 p.m. I'm so proud to be working with Albertans Against Excessive Lockdown, End the Lockdown Alberta, Unify the West, Alberta Action, and numerous other groups. Please come out and join us at the rally. Thanks for listening, and together we will bring an end to this tyranny.